So here's the swinging bridge. Be careful on the rugged mountain. Ledges, storms, high winds. Supervise children.
Yeah, I know. And then we came up here.
Wow. Look at these views down there. Hello everybody. Good morning. We are in North Carolina, heading into the mountains on the Blue Ridge Parkway right now. Stayed in Boone last night, and this morning we're heading back up on the parkway here. So we thought we'd stop, open the video at one of these views here before we get into the more popular stuff and kind of let you know what we're up to. So we've been driving down the parkway the last 24 hours or so, and we're going to continue on today, all in the mountains in the Sugar Mountain area today, hitting some stuff up, and we're going to stay in Boone again tonight. Ooh, man, get some good views. So we're gonna stay in Boone again tonight and just hit the stuff up in the Sugar Mountain area in this video, and maybe a second video. And then tomorrow we're gonna head down to Asheville. We are here at the very end of September, and if you look at the trees, you can start to see a little bit of color, and we're seeing a little bits of reds and yellows and stuff in it. We weren't seeing as much yesterday in Virginia, so I don't know if it just turned overnight,
Maybe it's higher elevation.
or if the elevation maybe, or maybe I don't know, because we're further south, so you'd think it would take a little longer for leaves to turn. But
It's cooler up here though. I don't know if it's just the day, but it's cooler than it was yesterday.
yeah. Man, look at that. All those hills. Wow. And you can see the parkway. I can't see it, but I think it's like right here where we've been driving in on. We're getting the mountains. Yeah, so I think we're still a couple weeks from the leaves really changing, getting really good color. But this is the only time we could get all the way down here on the parkway for the next few months. So we figure we'll get down here, but we'll do some more stuff on the parkway up in Virginia when we get back in later videos. So we'll just continue on. Look at that bridge there. So cool. Man, look at all of the hills. I don't know if you can see them on video, but it's just hills everywhere. Wow. It's a really good spot to stop here for first stop of the morning. Wow. So, I'm gonna continue on here. Probably just walk up here a little bit, see if there's any better view, and then we'll head back to the car and move on to the next couple spots. I got some really good little areas here I think you'll like to see coming up next. So the bridge there that we saw, I thought might have been the viaduct, the Lynn Cove Viaduct. It is absolutely the Lynn Cove Viaduct, but there wasn't a sign right there. I missed it, so we stopped at the visitor center, which is closed right now, but there's a short hike that we can go and see it from. We're kind of seeing it at level, but this trail we should see it from below. I think it'll make it a little bit better. So the trail here, and it's a really long trail, I should say. Maybe it says, maybe not. No, that's about how they built the viaduct. S-shaped shore, 153 concrete segments, only one of which is straight, weighing 50 tons. Ouch. When did they build it? Does it say? I don't see a year. Looks like, just judging off the van that's in here, I'm guessing like, I'm gonna guess mid-80s. Mid-80s is what I'm gonna guess. But, so, I guess it's the Tanawa Trail. The Tanawa Trail is a great trail for hiking. We don't have any plans to hike it other than this little bit here, but it kind of follows along a lot of the Blue Ridge Parkway in this area, and you can hike for miles and miles and miles and miles and miles on it, but you have to hike back. So the reason why we didn't do a hike on it really was because it's going to be out in the back hike, and we just have more plans than to do that. We'd also need to pick a section. There's tons of sections that are great, so I think it's a great spot if you just want to, if you're just driving through, you want to stop, park at the parking lot, and just walk for a mile back, stretch your legs out, see some amazing scenery.
So far this section is stroller friendly.
Yeah. So this
I don't know if it all is, but this section is.
Yeah. So hopefully we get a good view of the viaduct from here. Obviously they put that visitor center in the parking lot there for a reason. I think that's because you're going to get a better view from underneath over here than where we were up top, because it looked cool from up there, but I was like, it didn't blow me away like you see some of the pictures online. So let's go ahead and get up there and see what it looks like. So we're coming up on the next point of interest here, and we're heading up Grandfather Mountain. I didn't realize there was a toll, but there is a toll. It is just off the Blue Ridge Parkway, so we had to exit off the parkway and drive like 2 minutes, and now gotta pay this toll. So I'm not sure what it is, but we'll see here in a minute. So 24 person, and we get a CD. Look at this.
I actually had both, but
CD. Does this thing still play CDs?
yeah.
So looks like it's got information about the park, everything we need. We'll give it a listen to.
Welcome to Grandfather Mountain, one of the most wonder-filled places on Earth. To begin your audio tour, look to your left. You'll see McCrae Meadows, the Grandfather Mountain Highland Games track and competition area for the gathering of Scottish clans held every July.
Here is Grandfather Mountain. So I don't know if this is our current elevation, but where we're gonna head up to right now. And I believe it's the highest peak on the East Coast. I think it's supposed to be over 6,000 feet. But it says elevation 5946. I don't know. So kind of listen to our audio guide and get a little bit of our information, but drive all the way up to the peak here and get some good views. So we stopped up here at Split Rock and Sphinx Rock along the way. Right here, these two rocks. Just not planning on doing many hikes, if any, today, but if there's some places to stop and get a view, we'll get a view. See some big rocks. We'll see some big rocks. Yeah. So this is Grandfather, I think it's State Park. Feature Kyle put it here. I think it's State Park. It's got a ton of great hiking and stuff. And the cool thing is like you can drive to the top of the mountain and then hike from there, and there's probably not a ton of elevation gain. Here's the rocks. But there is, like, you know, it's probably full of boulders, and so it's probably slow hiking because it's not going to be a clear path, but it's not going to be tons of elevation everywhere. So this one is Split Rock, and this is Sphinx Rock. Kind of cool.
Game warden does. Only they were rescuing somebody that had gone up into.
You can get on in under there. Kind of cool.
Got lost.
Don't pull that rock out.
Yeah.
Oh, that's why they call it Split Rock. That's pretty cool.
54 hours he was lost.
Look at that.
I'm like, look how close that is to.
That's why they call it Split Rock.
It is.
Very cool. You can lose a small child in there. Yeah. So right here, as we're heading up the mountain, you'll see a little sign here is Forrest Gump curve, and a little sign says Forrest Gump ran this curve. So in the movie, the little scene where he's running, this is a curve where he ran. And you can see why. It's pretty unique. Got lots of these little short switchbacks all the way up here. So just a little nugget for you. So it looks like we are most of the way up. Let's see, we need to turn Mile High Bridge, swinging bridge. So we made it to the top. This is Grandfather Trail, starts right here. So it looks like it's got the distances if you want to do some hiking up on top. So you basically hike up and it kind of stays on top of the mountain, and you can get to other peaks and things like that. There's tons of trails and peaks there they have listed, anywhere from, there's a patio a quarter mile up, and there's a peak 2.4 miles out. So you can do all that here. There's a view over here, there's a view right there, there's a top shop here, and then the view, or the way up to the swinging bridge is just this way. So we're going to go to the swinging bridge and then walk across to the actual peak, which I think is right up there. Right there. So hike out to the peak now. So it's only like a 10-minute drive up, or maybe 15 if you drive slowly to the top. So pretty quick way to get all the way up. Not too bad. There seems to be plenty of parking here for right now. And if you didn't need to take an elevator to get up, they actually have an elevator. It'll take you up there. This building looks quite new, so they probably did some updating recently. So another hiking trail. But we're here for some views from the top of the mountain.
Lucas. Lucas, what?
Trees leave flowers and shrubbery for others to enjoy. Okay. So here's the swinging bridge. Be careful on the rugged mountain. Ledges, storms, high winds. Supervise children.
Yeah, I know. And then we came up here.
Wow. Look at these views down there. Oh. So it looks like there's a naturalist program. Started right at 1.
Moisture levels are. So way less water is evaporating. It stays very foggy and cool and moist all year round up here. So we end up with a lot of very,
Let's go.
very
Okay.
in this area.
Wow. So they said they built this bridge in the 50s. Do you remember how they said that they got up in the 50s before the bridge? Horse and buggy? I heard something about a mule or something, or horses or something, but I don't know if they pulled them across or what. Yeah, they call it the swinging bridge, but much swinging going on.
There's some.
Some.
Not as bad as when we were in Slovenia.
Yeah, not as bad as that bridge in Slovenia. Wow, just look at all the hills and the mountains. Wow. Great views. Look at that big old hotel resort they got on top of that mountain there. Kind of unsightly, but I think they do a lot of like skiing and stuff up here, so maybe it's for skiing. I think kind of unsightly to have that big hotel on top of that mountain. But yeah, I haven't seen lots of signs for skiing and stuff, which I did not know North Carolina had a lot of. But apparently they do. So let's go ahead and get here to the peak. So that's Grandfather Peak. And what I'm confused about is that the peak too? Is that a different peak? Or is this Grandfather Peak and that's a different mountain? It says this is Grandfather Peak. Maybe that's just a different mountain. So maybe, I thought Grandfather was supposed to be the largest, tallest point on the East Coast, but maybe it's this right here, where that peak is. So we're gonna head back to the car, check out the bathrooms at the visitor center here, and we'll head on out. So that is our visit to Grandfather Mountain. So we're going to end this video here. We're going to continue back onto the Blue Ridge Parkway, and I got some more stuff we're going to see. But for this video, we're going to wrap it up. So I hope you liked the video. Leave a comment below. If you have any comments, questions, if you like the video, anything, just leave a comment right now. Like the video, and obviously subscribe. That helps us so we can keep doing videos like this and more. You can follow our travels. So make sure you subscribe, like, comment. Until then, we will see you in the next one.